Oh, again. I know I'm posting lots of videos, but it's because there's lots to learn. So today we're going to do a quick science lesson, and we're going to think all the way back to right after winter break when we kind of reviewed with Wildcrafts, I believe it was, things that humans and animals and living things need in order to survive. Now, I want you to think that's a kind of a big word, survive. What does that mean? If I say I need to survive, or he survived, or that plant is not going to survive, what does that mean? Well, the word survive, it actually means like it's what you need to live, to continue to live. So, do rocks need things to survive? No, they're not alive. What about grass? Yeah, grass is alive. It dies and it grows back, right? So we're going to talk about the four big things that plants, people, and animals need to survive, right? So I've got this here and it says, what do we need to survive? Read it with me. What do we need to survive? And I want you to think of some things that you think we would need. The first thing that I always think of, the very first thing every time because it's my favorite, is food. We need stuff to eat. Food provides energy. Now, food looks different for all living things. Our food is cooked on a stove, right? Dog food is like these little brown pellets, and that doesn't look very or smell very appetizing to us. Plant food comes from the sun. They don't actually physically eat and chew things up like we do. Lion food is going to be wild animals like antelope. So food looks different for everybody. Now, people cook their food. Do animals have to cook their food? No. Do plants have to cook their food? No. But we all need food because that food provides us energy, which allows us to get up and move and lets our muscles work and helps us grow big and strong or makes us super fast so that we can survive when it comes to a situation where maybe we're being hunted. So, like, think about if a lion is hunting an antelope. That antelope hasn't eaten anything today. Do you think it's going to be able to get away? No, it's not going to have very much energy, right? The next thing I always think about that we need is water. Now, why is water important? Why do you think water is important? Because you know what? I think I'd much rather drink coffee. You might much rather drink juice or milk or pop. But why is water important? Water is important because it hydrates us. It helps our body, basically, it keeps our body running smoothly. It kind of makes it so that, A, we are we're able to, it also gives us energy. It helps us digest that food, turn it into energy, helps us pump blood. It keeps, the hydration is important because our organs need that to run the right way and function correctly, right? So water, animals are the same way. Plants need water to grow. All three things need it in order to go through their daily processes, whether it be our organs working or the insides of the plant stem to be pushing things through or to make our flower grow, anything like that. So water is another thing we need. Another thing that I need is, where am I right now? I'm at my house. Shelter. They need shelter to protect them from nature, predators, anything like that. So, for example, my shelter is my house or my school, because work, right? Spend a lot of time there. Not so much anymore, but normally I do. Those are going to be like my main shelters. Your shelter might be a house, could be an apartment. Some people travel a lot, so their shelter might be a hotel. Animal shelters. What kind of animal shelters can you think of? I think of a cave. Or if your dog is super fancy, they might have a doghouse. Some lions live on rocks. Some animals live underground. Now think about plants. Do they move? Do they get up and walk away to find their shelters? No. So what would their shelter be? It's an indoor plant. It could be the pot around them. That's what keeps them safe, keeps their soil and their water intact. If they're outside, it might be a big tree above them. It could be the leaves on them. It could be a tree itself, the bark, that hard, crusty stuff around it. That could be their shelter because it's what protects its parts, right? So your shelter is anywhere, anything or anywhere that can protect you from natural occurrences like rain, thunderstorms, snow. So I have some flowers, these things called daylilies, in my backyard, and they weren't very well protected last night from that snow. So I don't know how they're going to look today or tomorrow when the snow melts. It could be a good thing. Maybe it provided enough water to help them grow, but the weather was so cold that it might have killed them and they have to regrow. So shelter is important for that reason as well. And then the last of the things we need is when I breathe, what am I sucking in and blowing out? Air. Now, we all need different kinds of air. Humans need oxygen. Oxygen is what we breathe in. And then when you hear us breathe out, we are actually breathing out the carbon dioxide, which is something our body can't use. So animals and people, we need oxygen for our air. But plants need oxygen and the carbon dioxide that we breathe out. So for example, trees are wonderful. Trees create oxygen for us. So it's important to have trees around us because then the more oxygen we have. And then when we breathe out that carbon dioxide, the grass and the flowers and the trees all suck that in for themselves. And then the trees will produce the oxygen. So these are the 4 essential or must-have things that we need to survive. That's for all living things, plants, animals, and people. Now, I would love for you to put one thing in this list that you need, that you use to survive. So, for example, if I'm doing the food, I might say, you know what I can't live without? Miss Leslie cannot live without chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets. So I might put chicken nuggets next to food, and I'm not going to do that because that's kind of confusing. I'll make an arrow. Okay? Now, I could also say I drink water normally. You know, I like to put my flavorings in my water. But another way that I could potentially get some water, not a lot, but I might get it through my coffee because coffee is made with water. Okay? And you might put juice, or you might just say water. For shelter, I want to list where my shelters are. I already told you. House, my home, and my school. So I want you to put the building or place that you feel safest, your shelter. And for air, all of us will put oxygen. But I want you to take that a little bit further, and I want you to say where your oxygen is. So maybe you'll put oxygen around me. Okay? Around. See how I had to sound that out? Alrighty. Have a fabulous day. Great job.